How can we gauge international demand? In considering international expansion, a company should also consider at least two other questions. Number one, is there a demand for their product abroad? Number two, if the demand is there, must they adopt those products for international consumption or they have other options? Products that are successful in one country may be useless in another country. Snowmobiles are popular for transportation and recreation in Canada, and many other revolutionized reindeer herding in Lapland, but there is no demand of such a product in Central America. Although this is an extreme example, there are other points of foreign demand for a company's products, as they may be greater and same weaker than domestic demand. Even when there is demand, advertising need to be adjusted. For instance, in the United States, bicycles and small motorcycles are mainly used for recreation. But in many parts of Asia, while there is strong demand for these products, they are seen as transportation. Market research and prior market entry of the competitors may indicate whether there is an international demand for a firm's product. The motorcycles are in fact used as a means of transportation. They are not just used for fun. One large category of the US products that travels well is popular culture. Many US movies, for example, earn abroad as much as or more than what they do in the domestic market. The Harry Potter and Spider-Man movies, for instance, earn significant revenues in the United States but generated even more revenues overseas. Billions of dollars are also involved in popular music, TV shows, books, and even street fashions. Super Mario Brothers is advertised on all billboards in Bangkok, in so many billboards in Bangkok, Thailand. Bart Simpson, in fact, pirates are sold at Mexico City bazaars. Teenagers in Rome and Beirut sport US baseball caps, and the vintage of Levi's from 1950s and 1960s sell for $3,000 in Finland and Australia. ESPN has also become a major global brand. Adapting to customer needs. If its product is in demand, the firm must decide whether and how to adapt to meet the special demands of the foreign customers. To satisfy the local taste, McDonald's sells wine in France, beer in Germany, and meatless sandwiches in India. Ford must have steering wheels mounted on the right if they're to be sold in England and Japan. Computer manufacturers need different character sets on their keyboards in different countries. While Toyota markets have 5 different sports utility vehicles in the United States, it only sells its 2 smallest ones at home in Japan. Crowded roads, narrow driveways, and scarce parking spaces make larger vehicles impractical. Levels of international involvement. After deciding to go international, a firm must determine the level of its involvement. Several levels are possible. A firm may act as an exporter or an importer, organizer of an international firm. Like most of the world's largest industrial firms, operate as multinational firms. Exporters and importers. As an exporter makes products in one country to distribute and sell it in the others, an importer buys products in foreign markets and imports them for resale at home. Both conduct most of their businesses in the home nations. Both entail the lowest level of involvement in international operations, and both are good ways to learn the fine points of global business. Many large firms entered international business as exporters. IBM, Coke, among the others, exported to Europe for several years before producing there. This is one of the way of doing it. It's one of the consideration It's one of the involvement. It is the decision made by the company and to go along.